Hello, and welcome to Delta Source, your number one source for aggressive Gungan negotiations.
Oh, moi moi!
We shall
Today.
make you Bombad General.
And
Sorry,
today
guys,
we
there's
are
gonna be a lot of
looking at
Gungan, yeah, a lot of
the
Gungan speak
Gungan
jokes.
General. It's episode 12 of season 1 of the Clone Wars, Gungan General. We are here to look at the quote at the beginning of the episode and examine how it relates to the episode itself. Of course, there will be spoilers, but let's start looking at that quote. Fail with honor rather than succeed by fraud. Ooh. Okay, and let's read an episode description here. While negotiating Count Dooku's ransom, Anakin and Obi-Wan are taken prisoner. The Jedi and Sith form an unlikely alliance in a bid to escape, with Jar Jar Binks as their only hope. And I'm already scared just reading that.
Oh no.
So, you have any opening thoughts about how the quote relates to the episode?
Um, well, fail with honor rather than succeed by fraud. I I don't know. I feel like Jar Jar doesn't really. I'm trying to think of how it applies to Jar Jar mostly because
Hmm.
I don't know, the episode's called Gungan General, and I don't know, I like seeing Jar Jar and stuff.
Me
I'm
too.
glad he's in stuff, so I wanted them to make a Jar Jar movie. That'd be great. Everybody would like that at this point. I mean,
Jar Jar, a
me
Star Wars
would.
story.
Yeah, Jar Jar, Top Gun. He becomes a pilot. Or maybe the Naked Gungan. No.
Hmm.
That sounds a little bit more risque. That's besides the point. Jar Jar. Does Jar Jar succeed with honor or fail with honor rather than succeeding by fraud?
I think he succeeds with honor.
I think you're right. I don't think that he fails. I mean, he does save everyone.
So that kind of leads to one of my questions. I started with two questions: who will succeed and who will fail, and with what dignity will they do so? But as I was trying to put everything through the lens of honorable failure and fraudulent success, I came up with the further question: is everything a complete dichotomy between honorable failure and fraudulent success? Or can we also look in terms of middle grounds? Only Sith deal in absolutes after all.
That is true. Only Sith deal in absolutes.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like Jar Jar doesn't really fail with honor and doesn't succeed by fraud. He's just listening to his heart. He has some good calls. He's like, no, as long as the creatures are next to the acid geysers, we know it's safe because those creatures know when to leave, and it's the right call.
Jar Jar knows these things.
Yeah.
See? Look at how clever Jar Jar is. Yeah, and that does seem like something Jar Jar might know. Fair enough.
So one person that I saw this apply to very clearly was Hondo's second in command, because multiple times throughout the episode he's trying to employ fraud so that he can succeed in making off with the spice load. So that seemed like a pretty clear-cut example to me. But then the guy underneath him, this guy is being told by Hondo's second in command that we're gonna make off with the spice, and he thinks maybe we should fail honorably by just calling off this operation and, not try to cheat Hondo out of the spice.
Yeah, maybe trying to cheat Hondo is bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Other than he's a pirate, so.
um. So then we get to Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Dooku, which now I guess is a good time to talk about what happened with the drinks. Because last episode, Anakin and Obi-Wan do a really quick, swapping their cups with the people next to them so they wouldn't be drugged. And then this time they still wake up having been drugged.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
Anakin's like, wow, that pirate ale is, stronger than I expected. But Obi-Wan's like, no, we just got drugged. So I don't know. Maybe they had further drinks throughout the night and they lowered their guard or something.
Yeah, maybe. Although I think Obi-Wan says he only had a sip. Or was it Anakin who said he only had a sip?
Oh, I don't remember.
Somebody said they only had a sip. I also can't Jedi like do sort of a. I thought Jedi could do like sort of a toxin neutralization thing with the Force as well. That might only be in
Yeah.
Legends, but
I was thinking about that. I don't know if it was while I was watching this or if it was while I was watching a different Star Wars thing, but I was thinking about poison purge force meditation thing. So that might just be Legends. So the trio of Jedi and Sith are trying to escape over and over, and they're failing. But are their repeated escape attempts, is that them failing with honor? What do you think?
um, they're definitely failing. Is it honorable that they are failing? Um, well, I mean, they are kind of going out of the way not to kill any of the pirates while they're trying to escape.
Yeah,
At least I don't think that they do. So that's kind of honorable. You know, I feel like maybe if they were more willing to just start snapping necks with the Force, they could have escaped more easily.
right. And that would have been somewhat fraudulent to their Jedi way.
Yeah, that's very true.
Um, so I only had one more note on whether their escape attempts were one or the other. Obi-Wan says we'll look like fools when he's talking about, if the if the Republic ambassadors show up with the spice and we are still captive, we will look like fools. So it sounds like Obi-Wan is trying to look like they did not fail. He wants to look like they did not fail. So does that make their escape a fraudulent facade or something? That was a little bit of a reach, but yeah, that was my only other thought I had about the three of them escaping. So yeah, I think the quote, by framing it as a complete dichotomy, sort of doesn't leave room for the middle ground, which is most cases of everything. But there are a few examples that are directly shown of trying to succeed by fraud with Hondo's underling. Do you have any final closing thoughts about this episode? Good call, Paul.
Let's see. Good Jar Jar episode.
Definitely.
Very good Jar Jar episode. Big fan of that. Also I like that the pirate spaceship is just like a flying saucer.
Yeah.
Although I think we saw more of that one in the previous episode, but that's pretty neat. I feel like I don't know. I feel like they could have played this thing a little bit differently if they'd been a little bit less honorable, and maybe things would have gone better for them. But
probably so.
you know,
My closing thought is just a quote from Jar Jar in this episode. Very somber, very true. Those in with good in their heart, always passing too soon. And so, until next time, this has been Delta Source, your number one source for Gungan eulogies. May the Force be with you.